MXGP2 review. What's it really worth? MXGP2 is a racing motocross video game developed and published by Milestone SRL. And today, I'm going to be doing a full review of the game and give you my thoughts, what was good, what was bad, and what I think this game is really worth. MXGP2 was released on June 21st, 2016 for PS4 and Xbox One, and on April 7th, 2016 for Windows. The players do motocross racing indoors and outdoors, and it's based on the FIM Motocross World Championship license with update tracks and riders. Now let's break this game down and see what it's all about. Graphics. Alright, so I played it on the PS4 and it ran at a 1080p 30 frames per second, which is pretty good. And I had no issues whatsoever with the game with frame drops or frame rates or anything like that. And the mud and the dirt physics with this game looks pretty good. As you're racing along, you can actually see your character get more dirty, which is pretty impressive. And the landscape looks amazing. The trees, the mud, the grass, just everything around looks pretty good. The only problem I had with it was the character models. I find they weren't bad, but they just didn't look as good as everything else did in the game. Music. So first, I found the sound effects for the bikes could have been better. Some of the time they sounded like lawnmowers. And for the music, you seem to only really hear it in the menu or when you're customizing your rider. There isn't a huge selection, so it got kind of repetitive. It sounds a little like rock with some electro in it, but when it is there, it's not too bad. I'm sure if you wanted to listen to it when you're racing, you can. You would just have to crank up the in-game music. Story. So I can't really say that there's a story for this game, considering it's a racing motocross simulator, so there's not much of a story there. I mean, they got a career mode, a championship mode, but it's honestly just racing and upgrading your gear. So yeah, there's not really any story to this game. Content. For content, I find Milestone actually included quite a bit of stuff for this game. First, you have a really good customizable feature where you can customize your rider's look, the helmet, goggles, suit, boots, and neck brace. You can also customize your bike with graphic kits, handlebars, bar pads, hand grips, hand guards, exhaust, rims, suspension, rotors, tires, and accessories. You get an online multiplayer where you can compete in Grand Prix, championships, stadium series, and MXON races. In the single player, you can either do an MXGP race, start a new career, Monster Energy FIM MXON, a stadium series, real events, and test tracks out. There are 63 riders to choose from, 93 bikes, and 18 tracks. Gameplay. Alright, so here's where it gets a little interesting for me. Now this is the very first racing motocross game I've played since ATV Off-Road Fury for the PS2. I was not used to a game like this. I'm not saying I didn't enjoy playing it, but for someone who is new to the series, it was hard to control those bikes. It was very realistic, which is why it's a motocross simulator. When I was playing against the computer, it was very difficult for me. They played so perfectly and never really messed up, and I'd be in last place all the time, and that's playing it on the easiest setting too. Mind you, when I played it online, I had a lot more fun, probably because it was nice to see other people messing up just as bad as me. When the race gets going and everyone is jockeying for position, you see the person next to you trying to run you off the course, and the guy becomes your enemy. You both race neck and neck the whole way, trying to get the 10th place, and not finishing last was surprisingly really fun for me. Even though I knew there was no way I was going to win, it was still fun. For veterans to the series and who know how to play it, it's kind of hard to say if you'll enjoy it. But if someone like myself who had no idea how to play and finished last almost every time and still enjoyed it, I'm sure you will too. The controls were pretty straightforward. You got your gas, your front, and your rear tire brakes. There were other things you could learn to better your play, and they had tutorial videos that showed you how, which was very nice. Alright, so now let's get down to the verdict on what I think this game is really worth. So for the PS4 and Xbox One, in America, it's only $50, and for Canada, myself, it's $60. So for everything you get, a lot of game modes, hard for new players to the series, 18 racing tracks, big character and bike customization, realistic gameplay, satisfying graphics, but no local multiplayer. So like I said in the gameplay section, this game isn't the easiest to learn if you're new to the series or haven't played a motocross game since like, you know, ATV Off-Road Fury, man, since like the PS2 days. Like, it wasn't easy. I mean, the controls were straightforward, but it was just how it felt. Like, it felt like, well, it was a simulator. Like, it felt real, and it was very difficult to use. But it was still fun. Like, I had more fun playing online against other players than I did against the computer. And I think that's what makes this game worth the money that it is. Like, if you can enjoy this game and still know that you have no chance of winning and you don't take it so seriously, then I'm sure you'll like it. Just like I said, finishing last place for myself, most of the races, it was still fun. Because most of the time, I'd be trying to get to like 11th or 10th place. And still, I was like, no, I don't want to lose. I don't want to lose. I don't want to get 12th. I want to get 11th. I want to get 10th. And it was still fun seeing the other player, the actual person, racing with me and trying to do the same thing. That was cool. Whereas the computer, you didn't really get that because they were just so perfect with everything. Every time I raced against them, I never seen them crash or mess up. And they would just blow right past me and I wouldn't see them forever. Like, they were pretty good. So for my final verdict for this game, I think for the US, you guys got a good price, $50. You know what? That's not bad. For Canadians like myself, 60 might be a little bit too much. I might wait till it goes down to $50. But I honestly think if you still want to pick it up, I don't think you'll be too disappointed. Like, $60 still isn't too much for this game. Like I said, you get so many game modes, and if you can really enjoy just sitting back and just having fun playing a motocross game and not matter if you're going to win or lose, then you know what, $60 isn't too bad, and you'll probably enjoy it. Alright guys, well, I'm going to end my review there of MXGP2, and I hope you guys enjoyed. Now, if you're new to my channel, I'll put my logo on the screen, so you can click on that. It'll bring you over to my main channel. You can see what I'm all about. Check out my stuff. You know, you can subscribe too. That's always a good thing. You know, I'm on Twitter and all that good stuff. If you want to see the gameplay that goes with this review, I'll put a card up top, so you can click on that as well. Check that out. So don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a comment. Let me know what you think of MXGP2. If you played it, what your review is of it. Let me know in the comments below. You know what you gotta do, guys. You know how to do it. Peace out. Cha! Hard Reset Redux was released on PS4 and Xbox One on June 3rd, 2016, and on Windows on September 13, 2011. You play as Major Fletcher, is a soldier